The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Good morning and welcome to Race Day Saturday. At the end of the afternoon, the Great American Sim Race presented by the Glass Mechanic will be decided, and somebody's going to walk away with now not a $2,000 to win prize, but $2,500 to win, and everybody is guaranteed money through the 40-car field. We welcome you to the Duels of Daytona. This is Champions of Hope Foundation, Duel number 1. Good morning from virtual Daytona. I am Wesley Outland. Jacob Reeves alongside Bigglestein Hopton. We've been with you all week long, and now it is finally set for the final day of virtual iRacing competition. The starting lineup of 43 cars is set for the Florida Cabinet Distributor starting grid for, again, the fine folks, again, with the Duel number 1 presented by the Champions of Hope Foundation. Matthew Baker and Andrew Harris on the front row. Kenneth McCullough and Daniel Falkenham, the PGR 500 winner last week on row 2. Sean Ward, Malik Ray, row 3. Josh Lokenbitz, followed by Kyler Wynn, row 4. Cole Larson, Josh Rodriguez, row 5. Garrett Maines and Michael Larch, your top 12. Jacob, good morning from Georgia, buddy.
Good morning, Wesley Outland. Good morning to everybody out there in the live chat. Joshua McCullough is going to start in the 13th spot, with Chris Blanchard going to be starting in the 14th spot. Christopher Melton is going to start 15th, with Vincent Guerrero in 16th. Matthew Patton is going to start 17th. Stephen Miles is going to be 18th. Holden McGill will be 19th, and Christopher McCullough will start 20th. Dawson Wise and the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, make up the top 22.
And we move on now to row number 12. It's going to be Trevor Aswanoff and Ambrose Kennebill. Row 13, Brian Chu and Stephen Thomas. David Gusti and Ed Osborne on row 14. Row 15 to the top 30, Jonathan Cofield, Kerry Tribune, Denver Lee Turgensen, Lucas Lyons on row 16. And row 17, Darren Bruce and Michael Wingo.
Then the rest of the field will be Matthew Montgomery starting 35th. Mark Vondale will start 36th. Robert Walton's going to start 37th, with Cameron Craighead starting in 38th. Jordy Lopez, a Coke Series driver, going to have to do it all the way from the back. He's going to start 39th, and Kenny Harris will start 40th. Brian Pedow, Jason D. Maines, and Casey Mankey, the 43 drivers here for Champions of Hope, Duel number 1. Brady LaBeouf, Joshua Sust, Robbie Richards, they're your race control.
And Cody Dodd as well. James Wagner's welding race details. There it is, 50 laps. That is basically 125 miles. That's half the distance of 1/4 of what the 500 will be later on this afternoon. Good morning, wherever you are. I'm Wesley Outland, Jacob Reeves alongside 75% fuel, no fast repair, one attempt at overtime. And by the way, we're racing in the morning to match the morning conditions. And the wind is quite calm in virtual Daytona. Ready for the Champions of Hope Foundation. Duel number 1, 20 drivers going to the NASRA 500. Good morning, we're green in Daytona. It is underway with Baker on the launch on the inside. Jacob, we go to turn number 1.
Baker up on the top side, actually went from bottom to top. Kenneth McCullough Jr. might have actually moved him straight out of the way, so he's going to send Baker straight up the hill, go right into Andrew Harris. Here comes McCullough Jr. Inside lane, going to start the advance. Job Ward all over the back door of McCullough Jr., but outside, formed up a little bit tighter. Here comes Baker going into 3 for the first time here on a beautiful Saturday in virtual Daytona.
All 43 cars right there in a pack as they thunder off the corner. By the way, a shout out to our buddy Bigglestein Hopton, the producer. It is 2 a.m. in Australia. He's producing and we're wrecking. Trouble off turn 4. Cars are crashing. Larson, McGill. Good field of cars. Good names of drivers involved in an accident. And our Serve Pro caution will come out on lap number 1 as cars are littered all in the tri-oval grass turf, trying to get back on course. And the caution out for the first time.
Wow, that right there is something I didn't think I would actually see right there. Had a couple of guys right there lock it up. You see Andrew Harris up there on the top side. Kind of looked like right there behind him, Malik Ray.
That's that 87 car, by the way, the blue and white 87 for those that are watching. Watch this now.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of contact. They got 3 wide up there for about the 3rd spot. And then everybody just kind of touched. You see guys sliding down through there. There you see, I believe it was the 3 right there of Rodriguez shot all the way down. Literally went through the pits. You can do that. They will clear your black flag. But wow, I mean, unfortunate to see that right there. I mean, just 3 wide. Guys door banged a little bit. They got too close. They got hooked, they honestly got hooked together. And then after that, it was game over.
Another look at it from another angle from up top side. Josh Lockenvitz. Lockenvitz there. Lockenvitz around. Hits Larson. Hits the 05 of McCullough. The 49 into him. The 31 McGill. Bunch of good contenders involved in the accident of the tri-oval here. Here's a look at it one more time. By the way, instant replay presented by Pulse Poppers Fish and Lures.
You see Harris up top. I mean, looked like he kind of maybe got a little bit loose. Came down into Falkenham. Falkenham's actually going to be able to get away from it. Kyler went. Woo! Baby, go through the grass. Literally shot it straight through the grass. We've seen that numerous times throughout this week, Wesley Outland. Well, we've seen guys try to miss the wreck, especially through the tri-oval, and just for the first, I mean, their first instinct, just hook it hard left, go straight through the grass. You see Joshua McCullough trying to hold on to it, trying to lock it up, holding McGill, Cole Larson, others sliding around back there. But I've talked about it before, Wesley Outland. If you can, get in. I mean, honestly, if you can, use the grass to your advantage. It sounds stupid, but use the grass to your advantage. It will pay off for you in the long run.
Sometimes, in this occasion, a lot of cars deciding to bonsai into the turf right now. Cars are on pit road, by the way. Jacob, we had 50 laps. I got a feeling we'll see at least possibly 2 pit stops with a 75% fuel capacity on the cars. And what is it, 2 sets of tires? I see them probably pitting and taking advantage of that right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, well, I mean, there's a good possibility right there. Obviously, they're going to be going for fuel, but I think a lot of them that's sitting on pit road that you saw right there, you know, with Malik Ray, Cole Larson, some other drivers, all of them coming in and trying to get some of that damage fixed because it didn't look terrible. I mean, nobody went up, hit the wall head on. Nobody went back into the wall real hard. You know, just a little bit of minor contact with everybody. But Wesley, with these next-gen cars, these suckers are straight up aerodynamically challenged. And what I mean by that is just one little scuff probably on the bumper or on the quarter panel or whatever. It will slow your car down. So these guys want to go in there, try to get all that optional repairs done as I mean, to the T, get it all the way down to 000s. because you do not want to have anything like just a little bit of fender damage holds you back from possibly making the NASRA 500.
And a big good morning to everybody joining us. Probably the earliest broadcast ever in the history of NASRA since its inception in 2020. Along with Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. I mentioned the Redneck announcer, of course, alongside Mr. Bigglesdean Hopton, our producer. The one-man band is doing the production. And right now, Jacob Reeves, where our buddy lives up in Australia, listen to this, in the land down under, actually. Right now, his current time, dedication, audience, dedication, listen to this. In Brisbane, Australia, it is 2:11 a.m. his time. 11:11 North Carolina time, Eastern Standard Time, where me and Jacob are. Jacob's in Georgia. He is in Australia. Everybody, please give it attaboy to our buddy from the land down under. Much love to Dean. Getting up, getting rested. Hopefully you got your orange juice, your coffee, your soda, whatever pick-me-up gets you ready for your day or even your late night for Australia. 4 laps completed. By the way, big thanks to Champions of Hope Foundation. They're the sponsor of this race. Real quickly, we'll play a quick ad for them. When we come back, we're coming to green here at Daytona.
The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Barney has the green flag in his hand. Pace car lights are off. Pace car drops on to the pit lane. Here comes the field working into the Geico restart zone. Back underway. Champions of Hope Foundation, Duel 1, top 20. Transfer into the Great American Sim Race, the inaugural NASRA 500. They're back in turn 1.
And everybody went from the bottom to the top. A couple of them actually is going to stay down on the bottom side because they ain't got no other choice. That being Andrew Harris, Michael Larch, and also Vincent Guerrero. A couple of others like Falkingham and Kenneth McCullough Jr., they jumped up to the top side. Joshua Rodriguez is going to go from the top, jump down to the bottom. He's going to see if Andrew Harris can shove him up here with Baker and Ward. They got the third. They're coming for second. Here comes Rodriguez. He may have a shot off 4.
This race, again, 50 laps, 125 miles to the Tri-Oval. Baker up on the outside. Baker and Ward and McCullough. Rodriguez stuck to the bottom. He's got Harris behind him and Lawrence. They're up in 1.
Rodriguez still down on the bottom side. Harris right on his tailgate. Here comes the Spice Man, Chris Seddeman, trying to roll up to the back door of Chris Blanchard. Outside starting to get a little bit more organized in that bottom side. They're trying. They are trying on that bottom side, but it just is not paying off for them. Maybe it will. Comes Harris. Literally hit the damn nitrous button on the inside. Ooh. Went by third. Went by second. Rodriguez is going all the way to the front.
Rodriguez in stealth mode with a 2-car tandem and the push by Harris on the bottom. He pulls up in front. Now the front bow of Baker gets the rear end of Rodriguez's car. Baker now back to second. Ward to third. Harris hung out to try, and they work into 1 and 2. 31 degrees of banking as they hit the back straightaway.
I'm telling you, if I'm Andrew Harris, I am absolutely upset with Rodriguez. He basically just shipped him and turned on him, jumped right up in front of Baker and takes the outside lane. Harris, now he's got to find a little bit of mustard. He's got to get somebody to maybe have that nitrous button. Here we go. Looks like Falkingham or Kenneth McCullough Jr., I should say, trying to come down across the nose of Harris. Harris will not let him have it as they work into the tri-oval.
Track 2.5 miles. 4.023 kilometers long, 31 degrees of banking. They come off of that 3,800-foot front stretch, 1,200 meters long. Back stretch, known as the super stretch, is now 3,000 foot, 910 meters long. And Rodriguez leads the cavalry. Your way, Jacob, off 2.
And I'm telling you right now, there is a straight-up hornet's nest back there around the transfer spot right now with Kyler Wynn, Lucas Lyons, also with Turgeson back here as well. They are 3 wide all the way back through. Brian Chew stuck right in the middle. Lyons trying to give the shove. Kyler Wynn almost ends up turning Lyons off of turn number 4, but this is back here around that transfer spot, Wesley. I know we got a long way to go. Still about 41 to go. But I'm telling you, it is a hornet's nest back here with these boys.
And now Baker on the inside. Changes lanes. Keep an eye on Falkingham. He's right there in the back door. Daniel Falkingham, winner of the PGR 500 last Sunday afternoon. He sits there. Rodriguez behind him. So is Ward. Look at the 92 of Bad Fast Ward. The number sticks out with that silver metallic wrap job on that car. Really stood out on the backstretch as they now get stuck. Wow, side by side. Hold on, guys. We're working on 4.
Yeah, Rodriguez, I mean, really, he has been very, very aggressive here in this race, not worried about the top 20. He just wants to be able to stand up front and be able to finish up front. Wesley, obviously, everybody worried about the transfer spot with that 20th spot, but where you finish in this race, if you are in that top 20, will be, give or take, where you will be on the inside lane to start the NASRA 500. So not only are they trying to race it out for a transfer spot, but at the same time, want to be as close to the front as they can and not be mired back in traffic to start the big race here today, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Rodriguez, Baker battling for the lead off 4.
Yeah, pre-race will be around 2:45. We got a lot of cool things planned for the inaugural Great American Sim Race. Hey, by the way, was advertised to be a $7,000 purse. Listen to this. Amongst everything all week long, the purse was almost announced this morning around 3 a.m. Over $10,000. And the money is going right back into the event, meaning more money for winning the last chance races, the qualifiers. Every position that makes the top 40 gets paid. You win the duel, Jacob, you pocket $150 as well. We're back in turn 3. Over $10,000 purse. And by the way, now the winner gets $2,500 to the winner's taking.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, honestly, Wesley Outland, you know, we talked about this the other night in our little meeting with Cody Knight, Brady LaBeouf, and all of us, and it straight up shocked us. It really did. It shocked us. We wasn't expecting, and they wasn't even expecting this turnout. I mean, they were happy that this turnout, but some of the turnout. Wait a minute, we'll talk about the turnout here in a minute. We may end up getting somebody turned going through 1 and 2. Kyler Wynn with a shot, son, coming up through the middle. Here comes McCullough Jr. He's gonna go. They had enough of screwing around back there. Kyler Wynn, Jordy Lopez shoot up through there, and they use McCullough Jr. all the way to the front. Now here comes Kyler Wynn for the lead.
And we know how good Kyler Wynn is. One earlier in the week in one of the qualifying nights. Down to the inside. Georges McCullough up top. Baker there from Texas. Baker's mom in the chat box. Good morning to you, ma'am. And right now we're single file. Jacob, you were talking about the money in the purse increase. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of actually blew everybody's mind. It blew our minds, it blew Cody Knight's mind, and it blew obviously Brady LaBeouf's mind. Everybody got blown away by the amount of support and the amount of drivers that wanted to be a part of this right here. Just everything is literally a success. I mean, that's the only way that I can put it, Wesley Outland. Every bit of this has been a 100% huge success, and it's like you said, last night. It's like we've said before. I'm so happy to be a part of this right here, and I've got a very good feeling today at 2:45, 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's all going to culminate to something very, very special. And folks, I'm telling you, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe to the NASRA 360 Racing Network, and be ready for 3 p.m. Eastern time today. It's going to be a good one.
At 2:45 Eastern, actually, we're going to go live because we have a lot of cool things planned for pre-race. So 2:45 Eastern, green flag scheduled for after 3 p.m. They want to drop the flag at 3 o'clock, Jacob, because there's actually another iRacing 500 for Daytona coming up later tonight. People are actually now at the whip doing this. So nonetheless, we are just a small piece of the puzzle.
Oh, caution, we got a wreck.
Wrecking off turn 4 into the wall. It is a single car accident. And the yellow flag presented by Serve Pro will wave for the second time. It's Casey Mink. Casey Minky that's crashed. Casey Mink. And Casey Mink again, the car that hit the wall coming off through the tri-oval. And Jacob, we are under our second Surf Pro caution. Had a pretty lengthy green flag run, but it's out the window now here on lap number 15 of 50.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate to see that. There you see Casey Minky right here, 069. Actually, it was up the hill.
It's up
Might
ahead.
have been actually, now we're seeing, looks like it might be Astronaut right there in the 089.
That's
I believe
Trevor
that might have been
Astronaut.
who it was.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep. Trevor Astronaut, I believe, caught up in it, guys. Trevor Astronaut. He's in, of course, at 0. Yeah, Trevor Astronaut.
And right now, currently, Trevor Astronaut right now sitting in the 39th spot after he got hooked around right there. We'll see kind of what happened right here.
32nd. He's in 32nd, guys. He's in 32nd. There he is right there.
There you go.
There's the push from the 79, by the way. Watch this. Oh, yeah, he had help.
That was bad. That's just a bad bump draft right there. I mean, that ain't nothing bad right there.
By the way. And they're all pitting. By the way, Locked and Vince into Astronaut. The leaders, they're all pitting.
This is actually going to be prime position to be able to pull this off right here, Wesley Outland. We talked about this a while ago. This is going to be very, very tight right here, though, on fuel right here with just a little bit over 30 to go. I mentioned it yesterday, and you were talking about the 75% fuel capacity. Everybody looks like they just went in, got fuel, and then they're gone. But it's going to be tight right here on fuel. It's going to be tight.
I really think it probably with under 10 to go, Jacob, they might have to pit again. Are you right? I mean, that's what I'm thinking here.
There's a good possibility. There is a very good possibility, but I guarantee you right now, everybody is coming through 1 and 2 right there on the apron and coming around to catch the pace car. Jordy Lopez right now looks like he might have went in, got him an extra splash, and cashed on and everything. But I bet you right now, everybody is clutching it. They're turning the car off. They're trying to save as much as they can to be able to try to make it. We're hearing Jordy Lopez didn't even go in.
Nope.
So there's a possibility. He just stayed up, and then when we saw him on the apron, jump down to the bottom of the racetrack and stay on that apron just to try to help whatever that he can to try to save all the fuel that he can. So I wouldn't think that this would turn into a fuel mileage race, but there's a good possibility it could.
Jordy Lopez of that 189 entry now being showed by NASRA timing and scoring as the new leader. Driver of the 189, of course. Lopez's car. Of course, he ready to see. Well, I don't know if he'll come down pit road or not. We'll watch it here. See if he decides to come down pit lane. As the survey says,
nope.
No. Quick break as we'll step away here after the suspense kills us of whether Lopez pits or not. The Champions of Hope Foundation Duel 1 continues just after 15 laps. By the way, quick reminder, each duel is separated amongst each sponsor because they actually put up some nice money for the duel races. Thanks again in duel number 1. The Champions of Hope Foundation will go off the air as soon as duel 1 is concluded with our CRN post-race interviews. And duel race number 2 will quickly come back on the air with the Blanchards towing second duel. It all leads up to the top 20 finishers of the first duel, the top 20 finishers of the second duel to make it into the inaugural running of the NASRA 500, presented by Glass Mechanic later on this afternoon. And it has been a long, grueling week. We thank you all for staying with us. Pace car is in. Lap number 18 of 50. 7 to halfway. We're back underway here in Daytona, Jacob.
And now Jordy Lopez actually going to be up on that top side, see if he can try to hold on to it. Falkenham going to be right on his back door. Bunch of drivers. Baker goes all the way from the bottom, jumps up to the top side, jumps right in behind Malik Ray. We saw this over the past week, Wesley Outland, where a lot of guys was on the bottom of the racetrack, wanted to jump up to the top and go ahead and carry the momentum. But we've heard other drivers say, well, inside lane, it ain't that bad. We saw that last night in one of the last chance qualifiers. So everybody's got their own little perspective of where they want to run right now. And I'll tell you what, front and forward look like that's exactly where they want to be, up on the top side. But here comes McCullough Jr. He might make them pay for it off forward.
Lopez in the lead up high. McCullough on the bottom. Falkenham behind him. And Ray and the other McCullough family, they have hooked up the 3 and the 104 on the bottom. Let's go on board with the leader, Lopez, as they work the banking into turn number 1. Stay with him on the back straightaway. I want you to see how banked this racetrack is. On board with Jordy Lopez. He's the leader, Jacob, as we go on the gyro cam, working up into turn number 3.
Yeah, I mean, you see it right there. I mean, wow, literally just about 3 stories tall right there, and just that much. I mean, 31 degrees will straight up hurt you. Honestly, you know, Wesley, cool backstory for myself. A long time ago, me and my cousin and my dad and all of us went to Talladega, and we actually got to do a little bit of a track walk, and we got to go over there in 1 and 2. Well, Talladega is 33 degrees of banking. Daytona's 31. I got to be honest with you. I took 2 steps and started acting like I was wanting to walk up towards the wall. I never made it to the wall. I never even made it a quarter of the way up the banking over there at Talladega. I almost ended up falling. So here's the trick out of that. This place is steep, and it's able to hold on to the speeds, but at the same time, some of these wrecks that we've seen in the corners, sometimes, they'll go straight up the racetrack just with how much speed, but with that steepness that you see right there and all the G-forces that they got, what goes up must come down, and that's what ends up causing a lot of chaos that we see here at Daytona International Speedway.
And that's why we've seen a lot of cautions in real life and virtual where they have wrecked up on the top of the banking and they work their way back down to the bottom of the apron. Lopez up high, he leads, looking him behind. And here comes Kenneth McCullough Jr. on the inside. Right now, the outside lane, Jacob working in the morning session in Duel 1 as we're approaching halfway and 50 miles completed.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact right there going into turn 1. Malik Ray, Kenneth McCullough Jr. made ever so slight contact right there. Might have scared the field, made them open their eyes a little bit wide there for a second. But how about these McCullough boys down here on the bottom side? He's got Josh Rodriguez behind him. But Kenneth McCullough Jr., Christopher McCullough up here as well as even Joshua McCullough. All 3 McCulloughs being represented right here in dual race number 1. 2 of them's up there inside the top 5. The other one, Chris, I believe, Josh is. Josh is all the way back there in the 37th spot, mired back in traffic. As you already see drivers going from the top down to the bottom. Lopez, Falkenham trying to see if they can block off that advance from Malik Ray as they are sliding around going into 3.
Jason Maines, that car in the Linux machine below the double yellow line. He's going to give that spot back if he advanced a position. If not, he will suffer a penalty. Lopez in the lead. Falkenham Ray right there inside. We're on the bottom of the racetrack now as we're closing in on Cross Flags in dual race number 1, presented by Champions of Hope Foundation. They're in turn 2 there, Jacob.
Jordy Lopez leads them. He's actually on the bottom side now, which is kind of weird. He's usually been up on the top side. Front 3 actually going to be on the bottom. Now front 4, make that with Baker down there as well. McCullough Jr. is going to be on the bottom. Christopher McCullough is going to be on the bottom. First man up top, it's Ed Osborne in the old 28. Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man's going to try to roll with him. And Joshua Rodriguez, front 3 on the outside.
Through the tri-oval, 1 lap to halfway. Next time around. And right now we see Ed Osborne. Where did he come from? Out of nowhere. Outside the top 5. Working the outside lane now. Fighting the sun and the banking of the cars on the bottom. Lopez leads him as we look for the cross flags next time by.
I'm telling you, so far, everything has been calm, cool, collected with a couple of incidents. But everything so far has been, like I said, calm, cool, collected. As now you start to see guys from the top jump down to the bottom. John Ward in the 92 was riding right behind Josh Rodriguez. Now Turgeson's going to come up to the back door of Josh Rodriguez. Still riding on board right there. You see Jordy Lopez got the best seat in the house right now, Wesley Outland, just looking back and seeing all the chaos that could ensue right behind him.
Halfway, 25 laps down, 25 remaining in, of course, Hope's Champions of Hope Foundation dual race number 1 at Daytona. Jordy Lopez is the leader. Daniel Falkingham second. Malik Ray third. Matthew Baker. Kenneth McCullough Jr. Christopher McCullough. Lucas Lyons. Ed Osborne. Kerry Tribute. Chris Cinnamon. Right now your top 10. Cole Larson. Josh Rodriguez. Denver Lee Turgensen. Kenny Harris. Vincent Guerrero. Sean Ward. Trevor Asmanoff. Jonathan Cofield. Dawson Wise, Brian Chu, your top 20. If the race ended then, that's who would go. Cars are pitting. We still got 25 laps remaining as they come to pit road, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, and they make this pit stop right now. They are straight up guaranteed to be able to make it all the way to the end. Wesley, we're talking about last night about undercuts. I got a feeling this could be an undercut, but will it pay off for them? Is there you see Jordy Lopez down pit road. You also got Garrett Maines down pit road, Kyle Wynn down pit road, Malik Ray, Daniel Falkingham, and also Jason Maines and Baker as well. A lot of these big dogs right here, these super speedway big dogs that we've been hearing about, all of them went down pit road. They're trying to pull the undercut on some of these boys up here with the McCulloughs leading with Lucas Lyons. Lucas Lyons up there in third place. How about you?
And more cars coming down pit road. There you see them. Got to hit your pit stall perfectly as well, Jacob. You know that. No mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't hit it perfect, first thing you got to do is not end up speeding. And obviously going past the 60-mile-per-hour mark, you end up going past 60 miles an hour, then you're going to end up already getting black flagged as well. But then once you get it below 60 miles an hour and then you go down pit road and find your pit box, then you got to worry about who's on your left side while you're trying to go ahead and pull into your pit box. Then at that point, if you don't get turned or you don't get door banged on pit road, then you run into the possibility of overshooting your pit boxes. You already see 1, now 2 going down pit road. But you go with that. There you go. See them, watch them, lock them up. You got to watch that yellow cone. You don't want to get busted right there as well. That's one of the tricks about super speedway, pitting right here, Weston. That's one of the tricks about it.
Now you're exactly right. It's now the McCullough family. Kenneth McCullough leading. And, of course, Christopher right behind as well. We'll go side by side so you don't miss anything. Stay with us for the commentary. 22 remaining as we thank some of our sponsors. The leaders work off of Dern 4. McCullough Lyons. It sounds like a law firm. And, Jacob, your car that you got Lucas Lyons, the man out of Kentucky, driving, is in the third spot right now.
Yeah, Wesley, believe it or not, I did have a couple of words with Lucas before we got fired off, here this morning. I did want to tell him, about, just what I thought about some of this stuff and everything else. And I told him, I said, this is exactly what I told him. I said, regardless of what happens, buddy, I'm proud of you. You've represented me, my brand, NASRA, and DVD very well. Be smart. And like my dad would always say, nail it. And right now, he is nailing it right now.
You're going to say be smart, be kind, be fast, as you always say is your trademark signature goodbye.
Well, yeah, I mean, be smart, be fast, be kind, that. But, honestly, send it. Well, nail it. Nail it. That's what my dad always tells me, is to nail it. And, I'm telling you right now, Lucas currently sitting in third. Still got to make that pit stop, Wesley, but right now, he's nailing it.
In the words of the great Mel McDaniel, here I go again unveiling how old I am. Stand on it. Back straight away.
Stand on it.
McCullough Lions. Larson Ward, your top 5. And now we go from the outside lane for the single file rotation. Now we got the conveyor belt on the bottom of the double yellow line, working 3 and 4. Closing in on less than 50 miles to go. 20 laps remaining as they come to the line here, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of normal right there to see. I mean, possibly trying to save fuel. I'm not 100%. I would think that you wouldn't be able to make it. All these guys, they wouldn't be able to make it right here on fuel. But, usually that's what you're going to do if you're trying to save fuel. If you're not saving fuel, then you'll be all the way up on the top side, just carrying the momentum and wanting to go faster. Down here on the bottom side, it's a shorter distance around the racetrack. So that's why everybody is probably down there possibly trying to save fuel. Maybe it's just a little bit more comfortable. We talked about the weather last night. Maybe it's more comfortable for these cars in this particular part of the day to run on the bottom of the racetrack, and being up top may get loose on the bottom, may make it a little bit tighter. I mean, there's a whole lot of factors as to why they're doing that. It could be fuel. It could be handling on the cars. But one thing's for sure, it's a lot different than what we've seen so far this week.
There'll be a number of things right now as they work their way with McCullough Lions, and nobody jumps out of line. Look at them up the banking into 31 degrees. They're still locked to the double yellow line on the inside of the racetrack as the conveyor belt all the way back to probably the first 17, 18 cars. Nobody jumping out of line. Top 20 when this is over. And there again, Jacob, is that second pack I was telling you about. And pit stops are happening again, Jacob, in the front pack. Lions and others are pitting in front of you.
Yeah, Lions. Oh, he hits the inside retaining wall. Might have got nailed going into the pits. It might have ended up costing him right there. I think he ended up getting hit. It was Brian Chew down on his inside that ended up hitting Cofield and sent him down into the pits right there. That is absolutely costly right now for Jonathan Cofield in the 58, and he is not going to have anybody to draft with right here. Cofield's going to be in a heap of trouble right here.
What a heartbreak. As we're seeing more pit stops, McCullough family, they're coming down pit road. York is still on pit lane. Remember what happened at Cofield. Hit your pit stops and don't make any mistakes, meaning get busted for speeding or causing a delay on pit entry or exit will cost you also, Jacob. When they come to the line, it'll be 15 to go. Here's your leaders now. John Ward on the back straightaway with 2 back marker cars up in front as they work 3.
Yeah, but this right here, this is when you'll end up, especially for some of the viewers at home and even people watching, during, the sim like we are, and then also probably even the drivers may end up being right there where they're biting their fingernails because they have no idea what is fixing to happen. They don't know if they're going to be in a good spot, if they're going to be in a bad spot. I mean, this right here, this is the nerve-wracking part right here because there has been no caution as of yet. Everybody's still green. Everybody just working their way around the 2.5-mile trial over here at Daytona, not knowing what's going to happen right here. Who's going to make it right now at this time? The man that's right now on that transfer spot is Brian Chew. Stephen Thomas, Mark Vondell Carrie Tribune, Ed Osborne, they're trying to run him down. Now it flips. Now it's Christopher McCullough and Kenneth McCullough, both of them. Wow, we got McCullough's the family affair maybe going after it as well. I'm telling you, just so much right now is going on right now that everybody's just sitting there literally just in awe and just waiting to see what's going to happen.
You up a little sly in the stone. It's a family affair. The McCulloughs did that in the first part of the race, and now we're seeing Ward Harris Azranoff, who, by the way, had a problem earlier in the race. He has worked his way with Wise and Guerrero back to the top 5. A couple of cars on the tail end of the lead lap. That is Harris and Lopez in front of the leader, Bad Fast 92 of John Ward. He's trying to get around him, or actually, he's just actually drafting with them as they work down that back straightaway. They got enough speed that they can hang with him, Jacob, as they work to 13 to go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't blame him one bit. I really don't blame John Ward to do that right there, because maybe using the draft, maybe save a little bit of fuel unless he's got a pit anyway. But, you're not full throttle right here at Wesley Outland. You can be a little bit half throttle. You can save a little bit if you needed just that little bit more to do that. Maybe he's trying to help them out. That way they don't go a lap down, because maybe they may try to do something if a caution comes out, try to help them out and make them into the top 20. So, I mean, so many factors going on as to why they're doing what they're doing right here, but I think a lot of it may have to do with just biding their time, saving fuel. You see the gap right here, literally huge gap right here with Kenny Harris right behind him. Ward may be trying to save a little bit of fuel. He may be thinking about going the distance.
It'll be 12 laps to go. There's that second pack, by the way. We're being told that have already came down to pit lane as well, that have made stops. Pitted on lap 26 right now. We're thinking some others might have to come down pit road as well, because these other guys in the top 11, last time they pitted, Jacob, was on lap 16. Talk about Scarface, push it to the limit. This is going to be close with 12 to go.
Yeah, I mean, if they've went that far right there, there's no way that they're going to be able to make it another 10 laps. I mean, if they make it, I will be straight up 100% shocked right now if they pull it off. But I'm telling you, I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, honestly, West Atlantic. I've seen a lot crazier things happen in iRacing and in NASRA for that matter right now. Right now, nobody jumping down, nobody wanting to go pit right now. John Ward, 11 to go. He may know something we don't know, but I'll say this. If he can get that good of fuel mileage, I want his car on a daily basis just driving up and down the highway, because that is saving fuel. That's good gas mileage.
Ten laps to go when they come back around on the other side. Then the tri-oval next time by. Ward now. Wow. Ward dropping out of line. I think he might have gave a signal, Jacob. I'm coming to pit road. So is Harris. These other guys might be making pit stops as Azranoff is now the new leader. But they got to get down to the inside. They can't do it yet.
No, I mean, honestly, Ward actually dropped to the back right there. He's going to let Harris slide in front of him. This is a pretty good call right here with 10 laps to go. Ward and Harris, both of them are going to try to make it. That's what you see. Jumping down right here, getting in the draft, trying to save some fuel right here. All of these guys is going to try to save enough. Azranoff, now he's going to lead them. Dawson Wise is going to be behind him. Vincent Guerrero, Denver Lee Turgeson, and also Stephen Miles, the top 5. They're going to try to save and go the distance right here, Wesley Outland. I'm telling you, I just don't see it. I really do not see it. If they make it, I will be straight up shocked.
Off of turn 4. They'll come down to the line. It'll be 9 laps to go. Less than 25 miles remain here. 75 miles gone. Wow. And it's all come down to this here, Jacob, down in the corner. It is now Azranoff the leader.
I mean, wouldn't it be
100 miles
crazy?
gone, my apologies. This is 125 miles. 100 miles have been ran so far, Jacob.
I mean, and wouldn't this be crazy right here? This is the group right here that we know 100% can go to the end. Right now, they're sitting around the 10th spot right now, about 14 seconds back from Azranoff all the way back to John Ward, that top 9 right here. So Falkenham, Malik Ray, Baker, Wynn, Maines, they're good to go. They can make it. No problem. There's the problem right here is all these guys right here wondering whether or not they're going to be able to make it or not. Here's the bad part about this. You talk about, trying to save fuel and everything. Look at the times that they're running. That last time around, Astronaut ran a 47.9. Okay, let's just put that in perspective for you folks. Falkenham and them just ran a 46.2. They're almost 2 seconds faster, and they are running down the leaders right now. They're running down Astronaut and all these guys right here. So, 8 to go. They're 13 seconds back. It's going to take a miracle for them to catch them in 8 to go. But at the same time, they're running that slow. They're trying everything they can to save. It's like I said, though, Wesley. If they pitted since lap 16, it's going to be close. I just don't see it happening, though.
Yeah, I see them having to pit literally within the next 3 to 5 laps. Or they're going to push it to the tanks run dry. Astronaut now the new leader. Remember, 7 to go, top 20. Top 20. The man in 20th position is Chris Blanchard, by the way. He is 21 seconds back to the leader, Astronaut. Falkenham in 10th is 10 seconds back to the leader as they work their way back to the corner. There's a transfer right there. And your car with Lucas Lyons at the wheel in 19th.
Oh, I've been watching. Obviously. I'm going to be watching that one right there, obviously. Got ties with that car, but we'll see what happens. There's 6 to go. Azradoff, Wise, Guerrero. Nobody going down pit road right here, Wesley. They may be thinking, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. I really don't, Wesley. I have no idea what they're doing. I have no idea if they, I'm telling you, I'm just a fan, just like the rest of them out here. We're basically just along for the ride. We're just seeing what's happening right here. As Falkenham is catching them right now at 7 seconds, now under 6 seconds right now. Falkenham, Ray, they're starting to put the power down right here. They're going to catch him. They will catch them before this thing's all said and done.
But the question is, are they going to peel onto pit lane? That's the $1 million question.
Huh.
Because they pitted last time on lap 16, 5 laps to go. Closing in on 12 and a half miles remaining in this one. Coming up will be the Florida Cabinet Distributors post celebration in Victory Lane and the CRN post-race interviews. And there's a look at some of the times almost in unison between Astronaut, Wise, and even Guerrero and Turgensen. Miles as well. Larch with a 49.26. Ward with a 49.24. And Falkenham also 49.25. Working 40 go, Jacob. Penn, Miles left in dual one. As they work off turn 4, they're reeling him in. Closer and closer off the corner.
Oh, yeah, there's no way. There's not a chance, not one bit right here that Astronaut's going to win this race right here. No way in shape, fashion, or form. It's going to be, it's hard to say, look at this right here. They're saving that much right here with 4 laps to go. They are straight up, look at this right here. There's your speed right there. And that's not just draft, folks. That's all these guys in line trying to save fuel, just trying to make it to that top 20. And Falkenham, Ray, Baker, Wynn, Maines, all of them lighted up, and they are gone right here. They're going to be able to shoot right by them. No problem. Jump down in front of them now. It's going to be another.
They left them hanging.
Kicker. Oh, yeah.
They left them hanging now. 4 cars. Now Wynn breaks out of line on Baker. To the flying. 3 laps to go. And they have not pitted yet. They're going to stretch this thing to the finish, I believe, Jacob. And now Malik Ray's going to go to the lead behind Wynn behind him. Falkenham. Baker on the bottom. They're door-to-door going into 2 here.
I think they're going to run out of fuel. Honestly, I think Astronaut and them, I don't think they're going to be able to make it. Some of them might. I doubt it. But, it's going to be close. But I'll tell you what, big battle going on up here at the front. Ray, he's got Wynn. Falkenham, he's got Baker. They may end up just slugging it out just to have a little fun right here coming around this time with 2 laps to go. Ray's got the lead. Wynn right behind him after some struggles he's had this week. And also, Falkenham and Baker, they're right behind them. They're actually checking out. Both of these boys right here want to settle it between one another. Coming this time, 2 to go.
Couple of stars of the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series, normally race in the primetime lights of virtual eNASCAR. Today, for NASRA, they're up early in the morning and just before lunchtime at high noon, as they say in the Old West. Malik Ray, the leader, win behind him. Back straight away, they go to 3, Jacob.
Yeah, big battle going on there, and also big battle back here where the transfer spot is. Blanchard back here. Rodriguez back here. They're shooting it 3 wide, 9 ways to Sunday. Leaders are coming back around for the white flag as they're snooping it up, and they're wrecking back there where the transfer spot is. Will they have a caution before they get back?
Will we see a caution? No, we do not. Their white flag is out. It is the West Texas Pepper Traders. 1 to go. Final time in duel number 1. It is Falkenham now the leader. Baker in second as they work turn 2 for the final time.
And how about this?
Make the 500 now.
And what's crazy is if you sit here and watch this right here, they are running down these boys that was trying to save fuel. They're completely fixing to run out of fuel. Rest of the field starting to catch up to them as you see the battle up here at the front. Falkenham, he's going after Baker. Wynn trying to get there right with them. Front 4 trying to separate themselves as the battle for the transfer spot's on.
Here they come off turn 4, down to the line. Falkenham with a push by Baker. Baker, they'll go to the 500. Falkenham will win the Champions of Hope Foundation Duel 1 in Daytona. Falkenham, is he scored second? Yes, he is the winner. Baker second. Kyler Wynn, Malik Ray will settle for 3rd and 4th. It really don't matter. $150 goes in the pocket of the duel winner of Daniel Falkenham, added to the bankroll. But Jacob, the most important thing is that the top 20 are in the NASRA 500. And here's a look at the last lap one more time, and then we'll show you the crash for the transfer spot, the final spot up for grabs. And I will tell you, Chris Blanchard made the 20th position. How cool is that for the man out of Clinton, Maine?
I tell you, I mean, well, okay, anyway, here we go. Falkenham right now sitting, obviously gets right there, gets the line. He's able to pull it off. He gets the win with Baker and Wynn right behind him. As you go back for the transfer spot where that was going on, and it was back there with Chris Blanchard and all them. You talked about Blanchard and ended up getting the transfer spot. And, yeah, I mean, there was a whole lot that happened right there on that last lap. Guys were running out of fuel. There was some guys probably even, you know, as we're seeing, Brady LaBeouf is actually disabled the driver chat, so there's a lot of people upset about this one, apparently, somehow, some way. But there you see Blanchard right there going through the corner right there. And I'm telling you, buddy, I'm sitting there looking right here at it. You know, there was some spinning right there after the line and everything, but Blanchard gets the transfer spot, and ironically enough, the man is going to be the first one out. Yes.
This is the crash right here.
Yep.
Look at this.
There goes Rodriguez.
Rodriguez turned into the pack, but this is only where it started.
Yeah, you see Rodriguez kick sideways right there. And then after that, everybody slipping, sliding around. And there's Michael Wingo. He ran out of gas right there. He wasn't able to make it back. A bunch of them was able to save it. They actually pulled it off.
Right here where they're crashing. Look at this. Rewind back to 87 to Harris. Just rewind with him because he was a part of it. We're starting to see where these guys are crashing here in the transfer spot. Look at this. All in the back, just fighting it out. Look at this, the 89. Wow. I mean, Jacob, these guys were wrecking each other, even in the top 30, as Jason Maines just got plowed by Andrew Harris. Wow.
Yeah, he got nailed right there, Harris. He probably can't even see. He's got the hood up on his race car. Turgeson actually got spun around right there at the line. They were going for a spot. Miles got it collected as well, but oh, boy.
By the way, Daniel Falkenham won his qualifying race, his only qualifying race. He wins his duel event. Now can he win the NASRA 500? 20 cars are in Florida Cabinet Distributors Victory Lane, and coming up the CRN post-race interviews. Remember, if you're watching, we are going to go off the air for the conclusion of this duel. We want to have a separate video file from the thanks of the Champions of Hope Foundation. We will quickly come back on the air for the second duel on deck next. Falkingham, Baker, Wynn, Ray, Maine's top 5. Larch, Ward, Miles, Turgensen, Wise, your first 10 in. The next 10 of the 20 drivers of Duel 1 include unofficially Trevor Astronaut, Kenny Harris, Kerry Tribune, Christopher McCullough, Ed Osborne, Vincent Guerrero, the Spice Man Chris Cinnamon, Cole Larson, Kenneth McCullough Jr., and Chris Blanchard. Your top 20 there, Jacob. And your car, driven by Kentucky's Lucas Lyons, missed it by 1 spot. Wow, what an effort.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker right there for some of the action that was going on down the backstretch. I would lobby to say that one of them made it DQ just to get him in, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, Lucas Lyons, obviously, good drive by him. I'm proud of him. He represented us well. He ends up finishing 21st. Darren Bruce gets 22nd. Joshua McCullough gets 23rd. Casey Binky 24th. Robert Walton will finish 25th. Jason Maines has got to finish 26th with Jonathan Cofield after getting spun around on pit road. He will finish 27th. Jordy Lopez, 28th. Andrew Harris, 29th. And Joshua Rodriguez, after getting spun around with 2 to go, he ends up finishing in the 30th spot.
Brian Chu, Matthew Patton, Matthew Montgomery, Mark Fondale, Josh Lockett-Vitz, Chris Melton, Ambrose Kennable, of course, Cameron Craighead, Brian Pino, Michael Wingo, Stephen Thomas, David Gusti, Holden McGill with a disappointing race for him as well. He'll finish in the 43rd spot. One of our NASRA regulars from South Carolina had high hopes for sure. Came up short. At the end, though, the top 20 transfer to the NASRA 500 presented by Glass Mechanic, and it is Daniel Falkingham who picks up the win. We now move our way to the CRN post-race interviews and grab the podium drivers in the hope of the, of course, thanks for joining us again when it's all said and done for the Champions of Hope Foundation qualifier duel number 1. Duel 1 done. Daniel Falkingham wins. Daniel, boy, oh boy, what a strategy. Did you know those guys up ahead were going to run out of fuel, or were definitely pushing it to the limit? And obviously you 4 or 5 cars just hooked up, knew what you needed to do, ran them down, and then kind of had a little 4-car battle amongst yourselves, and you're on top.
Yeah, we knew, like, for us up front, it was already tight for us on gas to make it, and I knew I was in a spot where I couldn't make it, so got with Baker, got with Malik, Kyler, G-Mains, and all them. We came up with our own strategy, because we all know, like, we work really well together with, like, pushing, and we know, like, we don't have to save fuel, we can just push the pace, and we can just run as fast as possible. And all those guys up front literally had to run like half throttle the whole time, which we knew we could run them down, especially with how this package is, that it's easy to really run by yourself and just push each other and make yourself just go really, really fast. So now I'm glad we had the optimal strategy. At the end of the day, the end goal was to make sure we were top 20. And safe to say we accomplished more than that. So that was fun. Glad we could all make it in. They're looking forward to the 500 this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking about the NASRA 500 this afternoon, and you know, Daniel, I mean, what would this rank at if you was to win the NASRA 500 this afternoon? What would it rank at on your list of accomplishments here on iRacing?
It would definitely be up there, but I'd definitely like to add another 500 to the accolades because, like I said, I already got one earlier this week on Sunday in PGR, so to go get another one in a span of a week would be pretty cool, and something I haven't really done ever, so definitely going to be honored to try to win this afternoon as well, but of course it's going to be really hard because we got a lot of really, really good guys in here, so definitely try to stay optimistic as long as we're there at the end and hopefully have a shot at it. That's all I can ask for, but definitely mean a lot to get ourselves another 500 this week.
So, Daniel, please thank your sponsors and segue after this question, but I got to ask you, now you went through the quick sprints, if you will, right? What's it take now to balance yourself for the long 500 miles, 200 laps, and the strategy of what will survive those that race coming up here later this afternoon? How do you pace yourself?
Yeah, it's a long 500-mile race. So obviously the main thing is to just be there at the end because that's when all the big bucks can the pageantry gets all paid out and whatnot. So definitely as long as we can just keep ourselves in the fight for 500 miles, maybe try to stay up front. Maybe might be the key to try to stay ahead of all the chaos. But like we saw early in this duel, all the chaos can happen everywhere. So definitely it's just gonna make sure you know who you're working with as long as they can stay committed to you and just have that help at the end. But yeah, just survive all the chaos, have great pit stops, just all the normal stuff. But definitely it means a little more, especially this afternoon. So looking forward to that. I think we can do that. But yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, just want to shout out Six Karma. Shout out to all you guys broadcasting. Shout out to all the admins for putting this stuff on. Shout out to Malik, Kyler, Baker, G Mains, and all those guys for working well there at the end and to get us onto the show. And yeah, just thank you everyone. Looking forward to this afternoon.
Daniel Falkingham, ladies and gentlemen, the driver out of Jonesport, Maine, in the 6 Karma 139. The winner, by the way, of the PGR 500 last Sunday for their network. Right now winning here in, of course, the Hopes for Foundation duel number 1. Let's go to the runner-up now, and the man out of Texas is Matthew Baker. Matthew, you will finish in second, sir. I guess the smart thing was just get in line and drive, right? I mean, don't risk tearing your car up. The man out of Magnolia, Texas, and you're in another big, prestigious race like the inaugural NASRA 500. How you feeling behind Falkingham in second, sir?
Feeling good. I'm getting pretty burnt out of driving these 2.5 mile races. I mean, we've gone from the 500 on Sunday to ERA on Wednesday, where I came up just at one spot short, and then last night I ran 500 miles for the Florida 500 into another 500 miler tonight. So it's gonna be a barn burner. You're gonna see a lot of the same familiar faces that you saw Sunday. You'll see up front tonight for the NASRA 500, and just a testament to how good these guys are racing. And I want to shout out the guys who saved it on fuel strategy. To be honest, I was 3 laps short. They must have came down and topped it off again. Dawson Weiss, Trevor Osmernoth, Stephen Miles, Ward, they were all able to save enough there. But we knew that Falkingham and myself were going to get hooked up with Kyler, Garrett, and Malik. I think we lost Garrett there towards the end, but we were going to be able to push towards the end and try and track these guys down. We just told ourselves, get to the top 20. We know other people aren't going to be able to save fuel, and then it just ended up working out even better.
And honestly, Matt, I ask you the same question. I mean, I've asked this question a couple times this week, but to have that trust right there, with Falkingham and Kyler Witt and all y'all lining up and everything, to have somebody do the same thing, that everybody got a same plan to be able to make it work. Honestly, I mean, it's good to have people out there that you trust, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is good to have people out there, Chuck, but the only person you can really trust is yourself, and I trust myself pushing anyone that's in front of me that I know can hold a wheel. So as long as they have trust in me pushing and they're able to side draft and able to hold their line, and we can get away and try and make it a little bit easier of a fight for the big top prizes, and instead of a 10 lap, 11 lap shootout. But I'm sure as Daytona speaks to itself, we're probably going to have that tonight.
So, Matthew, I have to ask you, buddy, what do you do now? What is the mindset? You've ran these big races before, and I'm not talking about trying to strategy to win here. How does Matthew Baker get conditioned to now go for this long endurance 500 miler? What do you do?
There's 2 schools of thought. It's stay up front, lead every lap, or it's ride in the back. And I would have said ride in the back right before we had this draft model update on Tuesday. I mean, it may not look like it changed the racing, but it definitely slowed down the racing. And the thing with that is it's very, very hard to get runs up the middle if you're about 20th on back. So I think just staying aggressive, staying on the loud pedal around people we trust. Kyler and Malik are going to be looking to lead a lot of laps. I know Falkingham will be doing the same. Garrett the same as well. So if we can keep that bottom rolling, try and get away, or if we can't get away, just try and control as much as we can to a limit to try and get into victory lane.
All right, buddy. We'll see you this afternoon. Thank your sponsors on that number 5 from Texas.
Yeah, just another big shout out to Coasting Thunder, MBG Motorsports, Baker & Son Construction, VRX Simulators Prime, Blind Squirrel Racing, Steve Sizemore, Tucker, Mark, everyone that helped make the PGR 500 possible, and then everyone who's made this NASRA 500 possible. Blanchard's, I know he sponsored both of our events, and we're really grateful for Chris Blanchard. So shout out to him. Thanks out to Wagner's Welding as well. But thanks to you guys up in the booth. Can't wait to go back and watch this duel. Take a little break, get some lunch, go sit with the wife for a couple minutes before I have to get back in here, so I don't get yelled at on a Saturday. But yeah, thanks again, boys.
From Magnolia, Texas, the Coasting Thunder NBG Motorsports, entry number 5, Chevrolet. That is Matthew Baker. He is in the NASRA 500. And finally, the number 82, our buddy out of Canada, Kyler Wynn. Another driver like Chris Cinnamon from Canada in the NASRA 500 inaugural event. Kyler, your take of this race, finishing on the podium, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of teamwork between the top 5 there. Garrett Baker, Lee, Falkingham, Malik, and me. We decided to pit early and force the hand of the field. Hopefully, bring everybody else on pit road. We bought about half the field on pit road. I know the top 10 there stayed out and tried to save. It was a valiant effort by them, I will say. I did not think they were going to be able to save 3 or 4 laps or however short we were, but they made it work, and they're all in the 500, and props to them. I was not expecting that. So that's going to be in the back of my mind for the 500. It almost worked. We caught them with like 2 to go or 3 to go. But yeah, something to definitely keep in the back of my mind going into the 500.
Hey, Kyler, I mean, I'll penny back, off of, what we were talking about right there with Falkenham. I will ask you this. I mean, I've seen you and I've watched you do a lot of crazy things, win races on the super speedways, especially with the big one that was last year. Where would this rank at if you was able to pull it off and get the win in the NASRA 500? Where would that rank at with your accomplishments?
Definitely first. It's I would rank them in the terms of the amount of money I've won. So this would definitely go P1 for me.
Tyler, final question, buddy. How exhausted are you? I mean, do you feel like you're conditioned, well conditioned? How fit do you got to be to go for this whole thing all week, like we've been doing?
Well, I mean, I'm fine. I do a lot of these races. It's not that stressful to me anymore. I'm kind of conditioned for it. I think I have a pretty good mental when it comes to these races. I tend to, if it goes good or bad, I tend to, if it goes bad, I tend to be mad for about 3 minutes after the fact and then get over it. So that's pretty good. But got the FTF 500 later tonight too. So gonna be doing a lot of doing it today.
Always hit that reset button, I guess, if something goes wrong, right?
Yeah. So I'm excited. This is going to be like a preview for the FTF 500 for me.
Well, Kyler, before we let you go, man, please thank your sponsors, and we'll see you later this afternoon. Good luck.
Yep. Just factory setups on the car, the team, Wagner's Welding. They're supporter of this event, and they were a huge supporter of the Podium 500. Not the Podium 500, sorry. The PGR 500.
There you go. Kyler Wynn, ladies and gentlemen, from Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. He's on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our CRN post-race interviews, and that concludes our coverage of Duel race number 1. As again, Daniel Falkingham wins the Champions of Hope Foundation Duel 1. Stay with us. Remember, we got to kill the stream to save this file. When we come back, we're back from Daytona very quickly for Blanchard's Towing and Repair Duel number 2. Your final preliminary before the field is set for the inaugural NASRA 500 presented by Glass Mechanic on the road to the Great American Sim Race. For producer-director Bigglestein Hopton, Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. We're back in just a moment. Stay with us at Virtual Daytona, and congratulations to Champions of Hope Foundation Duel winner, Daniel Falkingham.